Hello, everybody. My name is Dr. Kelsey Keene. I want to thank you for joining me for Heart Strong Steps to Preventing Heart Disease. And I'm really excited for this information today. We're going to get right to it because we don't have a lot of time. So if you haven't met me before, if you're watching this and you're not one of our patients, again, my name is Dr. Kelsey Keene. I'm a chiropractor, a doctor of chiropractic. I've owned and operated Keene Family Chiropractic since its beginning in 2010. I am part of a wellness advisory council, and in 2012, I was part of the performance team. I was a performance team doctor for USA Judo and Wrestling and was able to support them at the 2012 Olympics. And just so you know a little bit about me, I am part of a group network of doctors called Max Living. Our mission at Max Living is that we want to empower longer, healthier lives through chiropractic care and the integration of the 5 essentials of health. And we're going to be talking a lot about those 5 essentials of health today. But as we get started, we're going to get right to it. So what is the #1 death-causing disease in the world? Well, you know the topic of this workshop today, and it is cardiovascular disease. In fact, cardiovascular disease is not only the #1 death-causing disease in the world, it has quickly become the #1 cause of death in North America. Most commonly, cardiovascular disease, you see it as heart attacks and strokes. Those are very common. Now, here's a very key concept. You would expect that you might know if you were at risk for heart disease or heart attack. But very commonly for most people, the very first warning sign that they have an unhealthy heart is having their first heart attack. So we want you to be proactive with the information that you're going to get today. You don't want to wait till you have your first heart attack to start doing things to promote heart health. And this is known as a lifestyle disease and something that we absolutely can take charge of. During this workshop today, some of the key concepts you should get are why heart disease numbers are continuing to grow each year. We're going to talk about the connection between high cholesterol and heart disease, lifestyle changes you can use to prevent heart disease, easy action steps you can start doing right away to decrease your risk of developing heart disease and increase your health at the same time. And today I'm going to start by going over some of the common myths when it comes to heart disease. The first thing, frankly, is that we think heart disease is normal. And in fact, heart disease is absolutely not normal, and it also is not normal with aging. The truth is cardiovascular disease can be common, but it's not normal. It's also not about your age. We're seeing beginning stages of heart disease beginning at all ages, even in children. So parents, listen up. You assume that if you're young, you don't have to worry about heart disease, or heart disease is a disease of old age. Well, fatty streaks, which is the first sign of atherosclerosis in the arteries, is found in 100% of kids by the age of 10. So what we are doing from birth can affect what our heart and vessel health looks like. Those of you that have teenagers, 60% of teenagers aged 15 to 19 years old have plaque buildup in their coronary arteries, which are the arteries that supply the heart. 60% of teenagers. And, you know, if you assume that heart attacks are going to happen when you're old, well, up to 10% of heart attacks happen by the age of 45, which is not old at all. So really, heart disease has nothing to do with age. It has to do with time. How much time have you not been taking care of yourself? How much time have you not been exercising and eating right, and the things you're going to learn today? For too many of us, we're running out of time. So the time is now to start taking action with this. All right, so how big of a problem is this? Well, 1 out of 3 deaths in the U.S. Are a result of cardiovascular disease. That's 1 person every 38 seconds. And these numbers are continuing to rise, especially when we're seeing the cost of cardiovascular disease. total cost, which includes your indirect costs like time lost at work and medical costs, in 2015, it cost just a little over $500 billion for Americans. Well, in the next 20 years, by the year 2035, that is expected to double to over $1.1 trillion. What are some of the key risk factors for heart disease? Well, the three big ones you're going to hear a lot about is high cholesterol, high blood pressure, and smoking. And the thing is, about half of Americans have at least one of these risk factors. So no wonder this is one of the leading causes of death in the United States. But there's other medical conditions and lifestyle choices that can also put people at high risk for heart disease. And those include if you have diabetes, if you're overweight or have obesity, if you have a poor diet, if you're physically inactive, or if you consume excessive amounts of alcohol. All right, people love talking about cholesterol. Yeah, it's one of the most misunderstood things when it comes to heart health. Most of the time when you say cholesterol, people immediately think heart attack, stroke, cholesterol, bad, poison, gotta lower it. But you're gonna learn some things today. I'm gonna do my best to simplify this because it could be a very complex biomechanical type of conversation. But if I took a poll of a large percent of people watching this webinar right now have either been told they've been diagnosed with high cholesterol or somebody close to them has been told that they have high cholesterol. But how many of you were ever told what cholesterol actually is and what cholesterol actually does? Well, somebody listening to me right now is saying something like cholesterol clogs arteries and causes heart attacks and strokes. So to that, I would say, okay, you've been told the risk associated with high cholesterol, but not what cholesterol actually does. And if you understood the role of cholesterol, you may make different choices. So we're going to address this today. And if you're going to address heart disease and cholesterol, you better know what it is, right? So what is cholesterol? We're going to get to that. Cholesterol. It is a soft, waxy substance that is made by the liver 80% of the time. So most commonly, cholesterol is being made from the liver. It travels in the blood as two different compounds. It's low density lipoproteins, LDL, which is sometimes referred to as the bad cholesterol. And then there's high density lipoproteins, or HDL, which is oftentimes called the good cholesterol. But I want you to know that there is no good or bad cholesterol. It's just cholesterol that performs two different tasks in your body. And there's one really key factor that I want you to know, which is that cholesterol is a healing agent. That is what we call a writer down. If you're taking notes at today's webinar, write that down. Cholesterol is a healing agent. Very important. HDL and LDL, they work differently in the body. Sometimes people call HDL the happy cholesterol and LDL the lousy cholesterol. I want to ask you a question. You tell me, when was the last time you learned something that your body produced on its own that is just designed as a weapon of mass destruction inside your body? Do you feel like your body would create poison that would damage and hurt you and cause a heart attack? I want you to really think about that, because the reality is that the body produces cholesterol, and it produces it for a reason. This isn't like some kind of poison your body puts out. It isn't like mercury toxicity or lead poisoning that you're being exposed to. My body produces LDL cholesterol, but what we've been led to believe is that if my body produces too much LDL or bad cholesterol, the problem is it. The problem is the cholesterol, not my body, or not the thing that caused my cholesterol to get high. The problem isn't the cholesterol. The problem is the body. It's that something isn't working properly, or that the cholesterol is just a response to the environment and lifestyle that I have chosen or that I have put my body in. Would your body poison you? Is the desire for your body to give itself a heart attack or a stroke? I don't believe so. That goes very much against my philosophy about the intelligence of the body. Clearly, cholesterol must have a purpose if the body is producing it. So I really want you to think about that. I'm going to try to simplify this as much as possible. So all cholesterol is healing. LDL, the lousy cholesterol or bad cholesterol as people call it, that is the cholesterol that goes out into the bloodstream. It leaves your liver and it goes out into the bloodstream. It's used to repair. So cholesterol is involved in every cell of your body. Your brain is largely made up of cholesterol. Cholesterol is used for lots of different things I'm going to go over. And if our body needs more of that substance, the liver starts sending it out in the form of LDL. Whenever inflammation occurs in the body, especially if it's inflammation in the arteries in your body, then the liver is going to produce more cholesterol to help repair the damage in the body as well as the arteries. Okay, now let me tell you about HDL, or the happy cholesterol, the good cholesterol as people call it. And again, I don't agree with those terms, but HDL is important because it transports cholesterol from the body, from the arteries, back to the liver so that it can be processed and stored. It takes care of any excess cholesterol that the body is not using. That's why they call it the good cholesterol, because it's taking it out of your bloodstream. HDL takes all that unused or unnecessary cholesterol, takes it back to the liver for processing. So let me tell you some of the roles that cholesterol performs and why it's important and why it's a good thing the majority of the time. So cholesterol is needed to manufacture hormones. It's used for bile acid. It's used to make vitamin D. Do you have low vitamin D levels? And also maybe take a cholesterol lowering medication. Well, it's possible that you may have low vitamin D levels because you are bringing your cholesterol levels down. Vitamin D is made in your body when sunlight converts cholesterol into vitamin D. So if vitamin D is important to your body and you're low in it, could the body potentially make more cholesterol so that you could get those levels up? You can't make estrogen, you can't make testosterone or a host of other vital hormones without cholesterol. We're seeing a large increase of men who are being diagnosed with low testosterone, or low T is what that's called. Low T is linked, here's why it's important, low T is linked with Alzheimer's, dementia, coronary artery disease, right? So more heart disease terms. You could have high LDL lab readings on your test, men, because maybe you're desperately low in testosterone and the body's trying to make more of those hormones. So what does your body do? It ramps up cholesterol production to make more of that hormone that you need. I don't agree with taking testosterone injections or getting it artificially injected into your body, but studies have shown that men who are getting testosterone therapy will lower their LDL numbers. Why? Because the body doesn't need to, it's not working so hard to make the body isn't having to work as hard to make the testosterone, which is important for your health. I think we should address why you have low testosterone instead of just taking a hormone or injecting testosterone into your body, because that comes with a host of other problems. So I'm always about getting to the cause of why is your body giving you these symptoms. Are you feeling low in energy? Well, cortisol is the energy hormone that comes from cholesterol. Cholesterol is secreted by the liver into the bile ducts to help with digesting your food. So again, if you're artificially lowering your cholesterol, it may impart issues with your digestion. I just want everyone to remember that cholesterol is the body's repair substance, and it does have a very important role in your body and what your body is doing to heal. So let me give you some truths about cholesterol. People think that having high cholesterol means it will cause heart disease. Well, there's plenty of people who have high cholesterol and don't have heart disease. When there is damage to any kind of artery, even microscopic damage caused by inflammation in the arteries from sugar, toxic invasion, abnormal hormone levels, cholesterol is there to promote repair. It's like a road crew filling potholes on the highway. And so I want to share with you some documented studies when it comes to cholesterol that's probably going to blow your mind if you haven't heard or read this before, because again, we're all told that cholesterol is bad and we need to lower it. Everything I'm going over here today is cited. So at the end of this, I'm going to make sure to give you my email address. If anybody listening today wants any of these articles, just let me know. I will send you the links so that you can access them or look them up for yourself. First study I want you to know about cholesterol is it's not cholesterol, it's the oxidation of cholesterol. Oxidation is what turns that repair that cholesterol is doing in an artery and makes it a problem. It's the oxidation. So oxidation damages cholesterol, leads to more inflammation in the artery wall. Things that will cause oxidation of cholesterol are eating lots of unhealthy fats like vegetable oils or canola oils. Those things cause oxidation. Also a lack of so the opposite of oxidation is antioxidation. So antioxidants help to counter this oxidation process in our body. So if you have a lack of antioxidants in your diet, which is largely found in fruits and vegetables, this is one thing that could promote oxidation of cholesterol. More people, this is going to shock you, more people have heart attacks with normal cholesterol than they do with high cholesterol. So if having high cholesterol put you at risk, wouldn't you assume that the people who have high heart attacks also have high cholesterol? Well, the opposite is true according to studies. Also, studies show that there is higher death rates with people with low cholesterol than there are people with high cholesterol. So if you wanted to live longer, statistically, having high cholesterol will help you get there. Statin drugs lower cholesterol, but not the death rate of heart attacks and strokes. So things like Zocor, Crestor, Simvastatin, Lipitor, those are statin drugs that cause your liver to stop making cholesterol. Just lowering cholesterol is the only thing that they're good at, not saving your life and not helping you live longer. And I would assume that's probably the reason that you would take a cholesterol lowering medication. There's no evidence that a statin drug would ever benefit a child, a woman, or any person over the age of 62, according to studies. For those of you that have never had a heart attack, never had one, studies show that if 100 people who had never had a heart attack took a statin drug, a cholesterol-lowering drug, for 5 years, then one, possibly 2 heart attacks could be averted by taking those statin drugs for 100 people for 5 years, right? And these are not vitamins we're taking. They have side effects. Studies show that there's a link with taking a statin medication and an increased risk of side effects that include things like diabetes, cataracts, renal failure, liver failure, impotence, breast cancer, nerve damage, depression, muscle pains, muscle wasting. By the way, your heart is one big muscle. So taking a drug that causes muscle wasting doesn't sound like a good heart health thing for me, right? Many people are taking a statin drug to prevent a problem, but they're creating a disaster. And so jumping to a cholesterol-lowering medication should not be your first step. It should be, why is my body making more cholesterol? Is this a warning sign that I am out of balance, that my body's out of homeostasis, that I am living against principles that are known to promote health in the body? Let me address those things. And if your body doesn't need to make any more cholesterol, then it won't. And you'll see those numbers go down. And we've seen lots of patients lower their cholesterol numbers just because they start living a healthy lifestyle and their liver doesn't need to do that anymore. I think of it kind of like fighting fevers. You know, fevers are a good thing. Fevers is your body healing you from some invading pathogen, bacteria, virus, right? And so as a result, our temperature heats up, so our body will kill those things, and all the other immune responses that happen that are beneficial for our body, like increasing natural killer cells and cancer killing cells in our body, all those things go up when we have a fever. So I don't ever want to decrease my fever because I know that that's a healing thing that is helping me get better. Well, if you're seeing your cholesterol numbers go up, I don't necessarily think that if it was me, that I would want to lower that. I would want to address why is that happening to begin with. By the way, there's 1 in 5 Americans between the ages of 40 and 75 who are already on a cholesterol lowering medication. So what causes high cholesterol? Well, we talked about it being a healing mechanism, but we know that there is a correlation with poor diet. Foods most likely to raise your LDL cholesterol are those that contain saturated fats or trans fatty acids. Lack of exercise, a lack of physical activity could lead to high LDL cholesterol. We know that regular exercises increase good cholesterol, that HDL, and lowers bad cholesterol. It decreases your risk of heart disease and improves your overall health. We know that being overweight can increase cholesterol. Often overweight people have low HDL and high LDL cholesterol. We also know that it increases your risk of high blood pressure and type 2 diabetes, being overweight. And all those with high cholesterol is a recipe for a heart attack. Old age is linked with high cholesterol, but cholesterol levels, yes, they tend to rise in men and women as they get older, but it's not about age. Remember, it's about time. We have more time to be overweight, more time to not exercise, more years of living an unhealthy lifestyle. It's not simply about your age. Hereditary. Genetics can play a role in an important role in determining blood cholesterol levels. Yes, some people whose ancestors have come from certain parts of the world are genetically programmed for higher cholesterol. They just have to be more careful and more vigilant than about all the things we've been talking about here on this webinar. It'd be like someone who's genetically more sensitive to the sun. They have to be more careful to not get burned. There can be genetic variance in people, but my philosophy is very much against the thought that our genes are our destiny. The genes are not our destiny. That, just because your family has suffered with health issues doesn't mean that you will too. There are other causes of high cholesterol. We've seen high cholesterol be linked with type 2 diabetes, increased stress, hypothyroidism, kidney disease, liver disease. Some medications will increase cholesterol, like progestins and steroid medication. If you have POS, polycystic ovarian syndrome, that has been linked with increasing cholesterol as well. High blood pressure has been called a silent killer because it has very few warning signs. Among the symptoms that could be related to high blood pressure, it includes things like blood spots in the eyes, facial flushing, dizziness, fatigue, confusion, chest pain, irregular heartbeats, vision problems, pounding in your chest, your neck, or your ears. If you see blood in your urine, those are all linked with high blood pressure. And the American Heart Association categorizes high blood pressure or hypertension into these 3 stages. The systolic number is the top number of your blood pressure reading, and the diastolic number is the bottom number. Pre-hypertension would be somewhere between 120 to 130, and between 70 to 80. 120 over 80 has generally been considered a normal blood pressure. Key risks associated with high blood pressure would be blocked arteries, atherosclerosis, and heart attacks. And these actually typically come in succession. So high blood pressure over time can cause a thickening or blockages of the arteries, which leads to higher and higher blood pressure. Blocked arteries result from thick blood and plaque buildup in the arteries, which leads to atherosclerosis. Atherosclerosis causes hardening of the arteries, which can lead to more blood clots, restricted blood flow to the heart, and then that will cause a heart attack. So some of the takeaways with blood pressure is that elevated blood pressure is a warning sign, and you should take it seriously. The damage builds over time. So take action right away. Don't ignore your body's warning signs. If you see blood pressure creeping up, take that as like a car engine light, the warning light coming up on your car. Don't simply just take a pill to lower your blood pressure. We want to address, why is your blood pressure going up? If you need a medication for a short time, then that's fine, but understand that that's not fixing the problem. That's treating the symptom. A little pet peeve of mine is the patients that come in who are, I'm healthy, doctor. I'm on these 2 different blood pressure medications, but they are controlling my blood pressure, so therefore I'm healthy. You can't be healthy if you're relying on a medication to artificially bring your blood pressure down. There's still an underlying cause to that. So this is a study from Mayo Clinic, known to be one of the best medical clinics in the country, if not one of the top ones in the world. And they list, their study shows that there are some prescription and over-the-counter medications that people are taking that will increase blood pressure. So you want to take note of this. This would be things like, they say, pain medications and anti-inflammatory medications, antidepressants, birth control pills, caffeine, cold medications like Sudafeds. Those will increase your blood pressure. Even some herbal supplements have been shown to increase blood pressure. So I think it's very diligent that if you've been diagnosed with high blood pressure, to really look at that list and see, is there something that you're taking every day that is causing the blood pressure to rise, rather than just taking one more pill and adding that to your regimen. So there's 5 essentials of health, and this is what we teach as Max Living Health Centers all over the country, actually all over North America. We have a lot of clinics in Canada as well. And those 5 essentials of health are core chiropractic, because the nervous system controls everything in your body, quality nutrition, mindset, increasing oxygen and lean muscle through exercise. We have a very specific way that we teach that, which people love, and also minimizing toxins. Those are the essentials and the recipe for good health. And we always encourage our patients to take stock of what they're doing for their health. Are you missing one of these key ingredients to good health? We're going to start with nutrition. Make sure I'm not going too long today. So nutrition. A healthy diet rich in fruits and vegetables. We want to have a nutrition plan that increases, and this is all for heart health. Important is that you are increasing potassium-rich foods like broccoli, wild-caught salmon or halibut, spinach, mushrooms, sweet potato. We want to increase our foods that are high in healthy fat. Things like extra virgin olive oil, avocados and avocado oil, extra virgin coconut oil and coconut. Those are all good sources of healthy fat. There's more, but that gives you some idea. Also, ancient gluten-free grains have been shown to be good for the heart. Things like amaranth, buckwheat, chia, millet, quinoa, sorghum. Now, if you are a Max Living patient, you most likely have this book called Align Your Health. This is our guide through the 5 essentials that most of our patients receive when they start care. If you started care, you've been a patient here for more than a couple years, you most likely weren't given this, but we do have it available in the office. And in this book, we have our nutrition plans. We call them the core plan, which is it's everyday healthy eating for everyone and every family. And then we also have an advanced eating plan. Now, the advanced eating plan, the way you would know which plan is for you, and you can find these in Appendix A and Appendix B. Appendix A on page 161 is the core nutrition plan. Again, this is all about eating real food, cutting out processed food, cutting out bad fats, changing the types of proteins that you eat to be proteins that were raised naturally, like grass-fed meat, not corn-fed meat or grain-fed meat, just to give you one example. Appendix B is the advanced eating plan, and it clearly lays out who the advanced eating plan would be for. So this is for someone who has blood sugar abnormalities, who has high blood pressure, high cholesterol, high triglycerides, someone who's wanting to lose weight and do it the most efficiently and quickly. The advanced eating plan is for you. Now, the advanced eating plan is going to cut out things that are going to raise your blood sugar and raise your insulin levels, because those things will cause inflammation in the body. And if we want you to start healing, we've got to bring those things down and regulate that. This is also going to show this is your heart health type of nutrition plan if you have already been diagnosed with warning signs of cardiovascular disease. Also, studies show supplementing can also reduce major adverse cardiovascular events. Some of those major supplements you would want to know about are CoQ10, magnesium, omega fatty acids, specifically omega-3 for most people, Daily Defense, which is a turmeric or curcumin supplement, and then also vitamin D. Those are your heart strong supplements. So people think of carbohydrates as being like breads and grains and sugar, but they forget that vegetables and fruits are also considered carbohydrates. So you're not going to hear me say this is a low carb type of nutrition plan. We're just going to change it to more beneficial carbohydrates, because many people think that on the spectrum of carbohydrates that you have like white sugar and white bread over here, and then maybe like vegetables and whole grains over here. Well, whole grains are going to be a lot closer to the sugar and the white bread than they are going to be to the vegetables and the fruit. And the reason why is the response the body has to them. You could have a piece of wheat toast for breakfast, and it will raise your blood sugar and your insulin the equivalent to what if you had a candy bar. So there are a reason why we really emphasize that we want patients to start reducing their carbohydrates from grains and breads. And if you're on the advanced eating plan, it will cut them out completely. And that's something that you'll do for typically 1 to 3 months as your body heals. And then you can decide if you want to slowly start adding back in any of the healthy grains. And we do emphasize which ones are the healthiest for you. So why do we talk about this a lot? Well, sugar causes an increase in blood sugar. Makes sense, right? And then as a result, your body is going to fight that by increasing cortisol and insulin. Cortisol and insulin increase an enzyme called PLA2, which increases inflammation, and inflammation causes 90% of diseases, especially heart disease. So that's why we want to address that. We know inflammation can cause damage to the cell walls and arteries, leading to plaque buildup and or high blood pressure as a result. So we want to keep our blood sugar in a normal range and avoid things that raise it significantly until you are healed, until you reach your goal. So we want to include things in our diet like healthy fats, nuts, coconut, extra virgin olive oil. We're looking for organic, naturally raised protein sources, skinless organic poultry, wild-caught fish, grass-fed red meat. We're going to have the types of fruits on the advanced eating plan are going to be low sugar. So these are going to be things that are like berries. Those will not raise your blood sugar like if you ate a banana or you ate an orange or pineapple. So again, it's about your body's hormone response, and that's why certain fruits you're going to have and other ones you're going to avoid while you're healing. Did you know you can go to maxliving.com/healthy-recipes, and you can actually have access to tons of recipes for free. And you also have, from the Align Your Health book, there are tons of color photos, and you have tons of recipes, and they're laid out in breakfast, lunch, dinner, desserts, smoothie recipes. So check out maxliving.com/healthy-recipes, and you can have access to a lot of those for free as well. Okay, I want to talk to you about some of the most important supplements that are going to help you on your Heart Strong journey. And one of the first ones is one that I think is very underestimated, which is CoQ10. CoQ10, which is a coenzyme 10, it is essential for healthy tissue, hence heart health. It's also abundantly used in heart muscle cells. So when you are deficient, it has an effect on your heart. Deficiency is linked to high blood pressure, diabetes, angina, which is constricting, painful episodes of the chest, diabetes, arrhythmias of the heart, and even heart failure are linked with deficiencies of CoQ10. CoQ10 has been shown that it may improve symptoms of congestive heart failure. And CoQ10 is something that we've seen decline as people age. CoQ10 is a key element in energy production and antioxidant protection, and it's naturally occurring in things like beef, chicken, fish, broccoli, cauliflower, nuts, and then various seeds. Once again, CoQ10 deficiencies are linked with high blood pressure, diabetes. I mean, this is important. Any supplement protocol for heart health is always going to include CoQ10, and I recommend this is something that you start adding to your supplement regimen, especially if you are increasing in age, which hopefully you are, and also if you are taking a statin drug. So statin drugs, which lower your cholesterol, they work by inhibiting a part of your liver that produces cholesterol. That same part that produces cholesterol will make CoQ10. So if you're taking a statin medication, a cholesterol-lowering medication, you will have deficiencies of CoQ10. And I assume that you got on that medication because your doctor said it was important for your heart health. Yet we're seeing that deficiencies of CoQ10 will lead to heart issues. And so it should be malpractice if your doctor put you on a statin drug and did not direct you to take a good quality CoQ10 supplement. So absolutely, if you're on a statin drug, have to be on it. I would say if you're over the age of 50, you should be on it. And if you are working towards improving your heart health, make sure you add in CoQ10. Second supplement I want you to know is magnesium. Most people think about supplementing with magnesium to allow muscles to relax. If someone is suffering muscle cramps, this could be a sign of magnesium deficiency, and supplementing is shown to stop the cramping. This is a lacking mineral for many people. And I would emphasize that we only take supplements to address a deficiency of the body. We aren't forcing muscles to relax like a prescription muscle relaxer. We're just improving the depleted mineral or supplement or whatever it is in the body that has declined for whatever reason, mostly nutrition. So we talked about how it helps to relax muscles. Well, think about your heart again. Your heart is smooth muscle. There are many studies showing magnesium's effect on heart health and lowering blood pressure. Magnesium is a cofactor in more than 300 enzyme systems, including protein synthesis, muscle and nerve function, blood glucose control, blood pressure regulation. So that's why it's part of the Heart Strong supplement protocol. Again, studies show that it can help control and lower blood pressure. Maintenance of optimal magnesium levels has been shown to help prevent hypertension. So as a preventative measure, studies also showed that supplementing can reduce major cardiovascular events. Where could you get magnesium in your diet? Well, you can get it from green leafy vegetables like spinach, legumes, nuts, seeds, whole grains. Those are all good sources. But most people, if you're having heart health symptoms, you're probably already not getting enough of those things like leafy greens in your diet. So you're going to supplement until you get those numbers regulated. You could test for this to see how deficient that you are. But I recommend just get on it right away. And then as you start improving, this could be something that you're replacing with a good diet rather than relying on the supplement to keep your magnesium levels high. Omega fatty acid, a lower omega-3, so there's omega-3, 6, and 9, just so you know. Omega-3 is the one that we see lowest, especially with the standard American diet. It's associated with an increased risk of cardiovascular disease and death, making adequate levels of essential fatty acid a very important part of a healthy lifestyle. Again, this is something that you could test in our office. If you're interested, let us know. We can do a very small finger prick test, which we can send off, and it will show us what your omega fatty acid levels are and if you are in range. Most people that we have sent off to do that test have come back very abnormal, which is what has been found to be the average for Americans. Optimal Omega, this is a supplement developed to provide essential fatty acids in ratios that promote optimal cardiovascular and circulatory health, healthy immune responses, healthy skin and eyes, and improved cognitive function, because healthy fats are very important for your brain. This supplement comes in ratios of essential fatty acids that provide powerful anti-inflammatory support. When you are low in omega-3 but very high in omega-6, that abnormal ratio, which you normally would not see, promotes inflammation in the body. And remember, inflammation is really at the heart of almost 90% of disease processes in people. So you can get omega-3 fatty acid from food, but we recommend that you start by taking the supplement, and then as your diet improves, this could be potentially something you get off of, but you can test and not guess. Daily Defense, one of my favorite supplements, and something that every person who gets started on this has noticed improvements in their health. We know that chronic low-level inflammation plays a role in every leading cause of mortality in the United States, especially heart disease. The key to reversing inflammation is to eliminate free radicals in oxidative species with high-quality antioxidants. We can stop the oxidation of cholesterol with antioxidants and by keeping inflammation low. Remember, it's not cholesterol, it's the oxidation of cholesterol that creates plaquing and can lead to heart disease. Daily Defense is a whole food formulation that provides a powerful combination of 3 synergistic antioxidants in the body. It's curcumin, it's Indian gooseberry, and it's melon extract. Who has heard of the health benefits of taking turmeric? Lots of people are. It's a hot supplement people are talking about, but it's for good reason. Well, Daily Defense contains something called C3 complex, which is a patented form of curcumin, which is the active ingredient in the spice turmeric. All of these are powerful anti-inflammatory molecules that come from the turmeric root. And so if you've heard the benefits of taking turmeric, then Daily Defense is one of the best supplements you can take for that. Studies suggest that when you take the supplement curcumin, it's an effective scavenger for reducing oxidative species, reversing the root cause of inflammation. This trio of antioxidants combats free radical damage and oxidative stress while supporting healthy aging and regeneration of your body. So, Daily Defense. And the last one I'll talk to you about is taking vitamin D3. Vitamin D levels of this essential compound have been found to be directly associated with risk of dying from all causes. Low vitamin D levels has been shown to be directly associated with risk of dying from all causes. Vitamin D is extremely important. When people ask me, what is one supplement I should be on? Start with vitamin D3, because studies have shown that almost everyone is deficient or low in vitamin D. If you get your vitamin D level tested from your doctor's office, a normal reading, normal is considered between 30 and 100. That's a 70-point range. So if you are 30 or you're 35 or you're 40, I would consider that low, because when you look at the research, you want your vitamin D levels to absolutely be above 60. You're not getting enough of it from the sun. To get enough of it from the sun, you have to be nearly naked, laying outside with no sun protection, and you would need to be doing that for over 30 minutes a day. I would say even longer. I've had patients who work outside who have very good tans, and they're still deficient in vitamin D3. And so a lot of different factors can come into play, but supplementing is one of the best things I've seen that will raise vitamin D levels tested. And you can get this tested. I recommend that you get it tested. People with low vitamin D levels had twice the risk of developing heart attacks, and taking vitamin D supplement reduces the risk of heart disease. So how long should you take this supplement? Well, you take enough of it to get your levels up, and then you maintain it. And if you are not able to maintain it through sun exposure, then you should be taking a supplement, especially during the winter months. Exercise and oxygen. Bottom line is we need to be moving more. That's very important. Regular exercise provides both an acute and long-term reduction in blood pressure. If you have high blood pressure, you need to make sure you're exercising intentionally every single day. If you don't want to have high blood pressure, make sure you're intentionally exercising every day. That's just one of the benefits of exercise. Just find some activity that you enjoy doing and just make sure that you do it regularly and you're physically moving your body throughout the day. Physical activity improves markers for blood viscosity, otherwise known as stickiness in the blood. There are many studies demonstrating that regular exercise and physical activity prevent primary and secondary cardiac events. So not only prevent you from having a heart attack, but can prevent you from having more heart attacks. And you don't have to go for an hour-long jog. In fact, a study from July 2014 found that as little as 5 to 10 minutes of jogging can reduce your risk of dying from cardiac arrest by up to 1/3. Distance cardio has been shown to increase free radicals, so more is not necessarily better. People who train for marathons have high cortisol, high free radical damage in their body, and it is a physical feat to accomplish that, but I would not say that running for that long and pushing yourself that hard is necessarily beneficial for your heart. What we recommend is surge training or HIIT training, which is high intensity interval training. Sometimes people call it burst training. We call it Max T3. Max T3 is a workout that we teach in the office, as well as give patients access to the website, and you can access it on your phone or anywhere that you are. These workouts are as little as 12 minutes each. You're going to work really hard during those 12 minutes, and you're going to rest in between sets. So high intensity rest, and that type of working out has been shown to make your exercise a lot more effective. It makes your body burn fat for energy and increases oxygenation in your body. Your goal, if you are not working out currently, is to be physically active, intentionally exercising for 30 minutes for at least 5 times a week. We know that mindset plays a very important role in helping you to be heart strong. We want to help you de-stress and rest. Rest is important. Do not feel bad about taking care of yourself when it comes to your mind. In fact, I would say your mental exercises and your mental health is one of the key factors to a happy, healthy life. We're talking about oxidative stress and free radicals. Well, stress causes oxidative stress. Does that make sense? We know stress increases blood pressure. Your body produces a surge of hormones when you're in a stressful situation. We want to minimize the impact of stress by some key things like simplifying your schedule. Review your calendar and to-do list and see what things are not necessary. Learn to say no to things that will not bring you closer to your priorities. I hope that health is at the top of your priority list, because you can't get any of the other things that are important to you if you don't have your health. We want to help you remember to breathe and relax. Make a conscious effort to deepen and slow down your breathing. When you feel yourself getting stressed, take a 1-minute break and do a breathing exercise. Shockingly, most people don't breathe correctly. When I tell people to take a deep breath, they breathe like this and their shoulders come up. Well, breathing correctly and increasing your oxygenation should come from your belly. So when you take a deep breath, you should see your belly come out, but not your shoulders coming up. It's the same kind of deep breathing that you're forced to do if you lay down. You can't raise your shoulders if you're laying down. Or if you yawn, when you yawn, I just made someone yawn, didn't I? It's going to come from your belly. So a good breathing exercise would be counting to 4 with an inhale, holding for 4 seconds, counting to 4 with an exhale, and then you're going to hold it for 4. So let's just do one together. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Now exhale, 2, 3, 4. Now hold it again, 2, 3, 4. You're going to do that throughout the day. It's a good way to start your day. It's a great way to fall asleep at night. Other ways to de-stress and take care of your mind is to exercise. Physical activity is a natural stress buster. I was having a horrible week last week, and I wasn't exercising in the mornings, and I was skipping workouts some days because, life is so crazy. But when I took time and I woke up a little early and I did a short jog in that morning, it changed my entire outlook, changed my day. I took charge of my day and stopped letting the day take charge of me. It really can be really powerful to take care of your mind. Getting plenty of sleep is important for your mind. Chronic sleep deprivation attributes to high blood pressure and lowers your lack of sleep contributes to high blood pressure. You want to focus on getting quality sleep, not necessarily quantity, but most people need at least 7 to 8 hours of uninterrupted sleep. You want to shift your perspective, resist the tendency to complain. If you were on our Facebook page this week, you saw a study that showed MRIs of the brain of people who are complaining every day. And then when they shift their mindset and stop the complaining, it actually changes your brain on an MRI. So what you think about makes a difference to your health. And very important, I want to remind you that health always comes from above, down, inside out. It starts with the brain. The brain sends signals down your spinal cord and out the nerves to every organ and cell of your body. If I cut the nerve going to your heart's done. Right? But if you have interference in that nervous system and the heart doesn't get 100% nerve supply, then that heart won't function at 100%. And if any organ or cell of your body is functioning at less than 100%, it's not building health over time. It starts to build disease of the body, dis-ease of the body, leading to disease. And so we care what someone's spine looks like because that's one of the factors that will cause interference in the nervous system. And our lifestyle in 2018 is really poor when it comes to taking care of your posture and your spine. Your posture is just a picture of your spine in most cases. However, I have taken x-rays of people who thought they had really great posture, and when you actually look at the spine, it couldn't be further from the truth. And so taking care of your spine is vital to taking care of your nervous system and thus the health of all the organs and cells, including your heart health. Studies have shown that this was in the Journal of Hypertension, that one chiropractic adjustment to this top bone here called your atlas, which plays a role in regulating, for one thing, your blood pressure, that when patients got an adjustment here, it lowered their blood pressure better than taking 2 high blood pressure medications combined. In the study, they were doing simvastatin and something else, I think. But 2 medications combined, the actual adjustment lowered it better than that. They also did studies on people with low blood pressure, and they also got an adjustment to the atlas. And people with low blood pressure, their numbers increased back to a normal range because the adjustments don't treat low blood pressure or high blood pressure or heart disease. The adjustments realign the spine to take the pressure off the nervous system so that the body can increase its regulatory control and communication so that your body can thrive and heal and function just the way that God made you to. And so this is one missing thing. Most people know they need to exercise. Most people know that they need to be eating good quality real food and not fake processed food. And most people should know that they should take care of their spine, but they don't. It's the one missing thing that I see the most. So get your spine checked if you haven't. Would you want to know if you had a blocked artery to your heart? Of course you would. Of course you would. Would you want to know if you had a blocked nerve going to your heart? That's even more important. And the only way to know is by having your spine evaluated and quite possibly taking x-rays to see what's happening within your spine. And so if you are watching me today and you're not a patient in our office, somebody shared this with you, maybe you found it on YouTube. If you would like to take advantage of getting your spine and nervous system checked, we're going to have an offer for you. But first, I want you to watch a couple of our rock star patients, Jean and Renee.
Hi, my name's Renee Jansen, and I'm a patient here at Dr. Kelsey Keen's office. I came back in January because I was just having some problems with my spine and some arthritis, and she did some x-rays for me and found out I had scoliosis.
Scoliosis.
Oh, scoliosis. Yes, that was it. Well, I am getting much better now after 6 months, and I don't have the inflammation like I used to. So I've been very pleased with coming here.
And I'm Gene Jansen. I've lost 30 pounds, 3 inches off my waistline. I'm now off of a blood thinner, cholesterol medication, and one of my high blood pressure meds. And the doctor says in just another short month, I should be down 50% on my last 2 high blood pressure medications.
Yeah, and I just went to the doctor for my 69th annual checkup, and he took me off cholesterol medicine. I'm down 8 pounds, and he looked at my numbers and said they were stellar. So I couldn't be happier.
And at 80 years old, I am healthy. I feel good. I have energy from morning till night. I don't get tired about 4 o'clock in the afternoon anymore. And it all stems from the work that Dr. Kelsey Keene has done and Max Living program. The nutrition part, the exercise part, the chiropractic manipulation, it's all a fantastic, well-rounded program, and you should try it.
We love Gene and Renee. They are awesome. Let's see if I can go to the next slide. Okay, we're almost done here. I just want to let you know your next steps. First step, take action. If you watch this, awesome. You took the time. Hopefully you learned something today. We went through a lot of information, went through it as quickly as I could, but with the most impactful information that I could share with you. I used to be told that information was power, right? But that's actually not true. Information is potential power. What you do with this information is what will advance you. So if you are looking to be heart strong, go over the information we went today, start taking action steps. You might need to be on the supplements. You might need to be starting to exercise. You may need to change your diet. And don't forget, we have lots of resources to help you with that. Maybe you've never had your spine checked and you want to see if why nutrition and exercise hasn't lowered your blood pressure or hasn't seen an improvement in your heart health. Well, then you need to have your spine and nervous system checked correctly and addressed. If you're not a patient and you want to do that, you can call us at the number here on the screen, 512-335-8700. Let us know that you heard about us from the Heart Strong webinar. And we have a special offer if you'd like to come in and get your spine and nervous system checked. For all of our patients, if you are interested in any of the Heart Strong supplements we talked about, the vitamin D3, magnesium, CoQ10, the Daily Defense, thank you, forgot which one, Daily Defense, we're going to actually give you any of those at a discount. We're going to have them 10% discounted through the month of August. You just have to tell one of the girls at the front desk the secret password, which is going to be Heart Strong. Heart Strong. Tell them that and you'll get 10% off any of those supplements. I want to thank you for joining me today for Heart Strong. If you have any questions or you are looking to get any of the references for any of the information, you can reach me at my email, drkelsie@gmail.com. It is drkelsie@gmail.com. drkelsie@gmail.com. Let me know any studies that you'd like me to send you, any questions that you might have. I'm here to help you. Hope you guys have a great day. Thank you for joining me. Live a happy, healthy life. Bye.